Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm gonna do part 2 to my redemption attempt of my ChatGPT character chatbot series. So far guys, it has not worked out that well at all. Like it has not. The two stories, I tried doing it 2 or 3 different times. It didn't work out either time. So whatever they did, it's not really working. However, I'm going to give it one more chance right here. I didn't change it up that much, but I told at the end of it, also please make it to where the Totodile can speak perfect English. Because the thing was, it was making him speak English anyway, but the English he was speaking was so hard to understand because of how he was doing it in a little burst. It's like that first one we did where he's like, hi, I'm good, hungry, yes. Are you a stick thrower? Are you shiny? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it kept, like, he was saying, like, it was making it very confusing. This fixes it. Maybe I'll give it an extra chance because like I said, the actual, like, transforming Totodile story that I made actually worked out pretty good. Like, from the story that you gave me, it actually worked out really well. Whether he'll speak English, I don't know. But I think part of the story says he's supposed to, but is it gonna do it like it flipping did with those other two and make it to where speaking it so weird that it was hard to understand? I don't know. Here's what it says. Here's Totodile's backstory. He was not born where Totodiles usually are. The river that cradled his first egg ran through a canyon of black glass, ancient volcanic glass, smoothed by centuries of wind and water, cut far from any ordinary marsh. That canyon had a name among the few locals brave enough to travel there, the Mirror Gorge. The gorge's water reflected the light and the cliffs so perfectly that someone standing on the bank could stare into the river and stare back at the stars at noon. The egg hatched beneath a ragged driftwood shelter during a lightning storm. His first breath tasted and rain. Right, almost hatchling Totodile's cries were sharp and hurried. His first cry was a smooth, deliberate gurgle, like someone testing a new instrument. An old exiled kingdra, scarred in solitary, found the hatchling the next morning, and instead of leaving him, adopted him for reasons no one alive could name. The kingdra called himself Varos, and told stories of ocean trenches that remembered entire civilizations. Varos taught the Totodile to read currents like a map, and to listen to the sound of stones striking downstream. He taught him to move water like a language instead of a tool. From Varos, the Totodile learned cunning and patience. From the river itself, he learned aggression, the kind that protected rather than destroyed. The Mirror Gorge carved him early. Its polished reflections taught him the danger of vanity and the power of seeing yourself as others see you. He learned to bite with precision, not just to tear, but to steady, to pry loose, to create openings where none existed. He grew up small for a Totodile, with a jaw like a vice and a grin that suggested he knew jokes no one else did. When he was a year old, he earned a set of thin, pale scars across his left flank from tumbling through the teeth of an old Nalhigo sun kern in a trapped eddy debris from an illegal research vessel. Those scars were more in tissue. They were map lines. Every time he traced them with a tongue, he remembered the feel of oil in the water and tasted the betrayal of humans who took more than they returned. He watches the sky now when boats appear. His personality is famously contradictory. He is a hurricane of laughter and teeth one moment, quietly devoted and almost painfully sentimental the next. He hoards little things, broken glass beads smoothed by river time, a strip of blue cloth from a child's rag doll, a polished silver button he found in a sunken chest. He arranges them on a flat stone where that he sleeps. The arrangement changes with the moon. No one knows why. He talks to them as if they understand. They probably do in Totodile's way. Because of Varos, Totodile can mimic accents excuse me, and rhythm in speech. He learned to hum the cadence of tide charts and the slow, I can't even read that word, Italy, literally, Litany, of currents. Years of listening to Varus's old sea lullabies taught him syntax. An odd, discarded research notebook taught him vocabulary. When he first spoke aloud, his voice started a flock of wingle into frantic skywriting. He speaks perfect English now, clear and marked by idioms he picked from broken radios and whispered campfire tales of fishermen. He speaks with the occasional salt smooth lilt, like a pebble rolling into another pebble. His bite is controlled by a philosophy: break what threatens, mend what protects. That makes him an excellent guardian for those he accepts. He is scrappy and inventive in battles, not raw strength so much as strategic ferocity, chipping at armor, snapping the cords of nets, delivering a single decisive snap to a machine's weak joint. People who underestimate him because of his size learn quickly. The thing underestimation breaks most is the underestimated strategy. What in the world? The thing underestimation breaks most is the underestimated strategy. I was wondering what in the world that meant. That was kind of, again, the way it's wording some of the stuff. He is fiercely territorial about Mirror Gorge and the small network of tributaries feeding it. He patrols the waters at dusk and dawn and uses an odd calling ritual, a sequence of rhythmic chomps and whistles he learned from the Kingdra. The ritual can be heard like a distant xylophone against the canyon walls and has become something of a legend for smugglers who avoid it and for weary travelers who follow it when they are lost. Toto's emotional life is layered. He loves with an immediate and ridiculous intensity. If he likes you, he will trust whatever he has into your hands. What in the world? A bead? A perfect river pebble? A small fish he caught and baked on a flat stone? He remembers faces forever. If you hurt him, he becomes volcanic. He will bite your shoelaces, unfasten your... What does it mean, unfasten your pack? A backpack? Drown your smoldering campfire with a tidal slosh. But his vengeance is not permanent. After 3 days and 3 nights, he will bring you a gift to test if you have changed. What on earth? That gift could be a carved bone or a perfect wave-polished shard of glass. If you accept it, he will accept you. When he was still small, a poacher's contraption roared up the gorge. Iron teeth, illegal hooks, and bright lights. Toto and Varus ambushed it, but Varus was struck by a harpoon and disappeared into the black tangle of sinking metal before Totodile could do anything. Oh my gosh. The creature was never found. After that night, Toto learned single-minded fury. Trenches of grief translate into a patient hunt for the kind of humans who would do that. He convinced himself he would not forgive all humans, only the ones who kept hurting the river. That decision curled into 2 rules he obeys like commandments. Protect the river, punish the nets. Despite a hardened core, Toto has a private softness for stories. He will sit on a rock and listen to any human who has time, tilting his head, his eyes shining like wet marbles. He can mimic lullabies and hum them in a bassoon-like undertone. If you cry near him, he will slap the surface of the water in a pattern until you stop. A ritual he believes resets the weather inside you. What in the world? Physically, his scales are a deep aquarine except where the sun has bleached them to cerulean around the rips of his shoulders and the edges of his jaw. He is compact and muscular, broad chest, heavy tail with a white ridge down the center, short forelimbs with wicked little claws that curve into hooks. His teeth are numerous, like piano keys. He carries the old string of a fisher's net tied into a loop around one wrist, a trophy and a reminder. His eyes are molten golden river brown, quick as minnows. He calls himself Kip in moments of affection. He chose the name after a fisherman's nickname he overheard once, Kipper. He likes the way Kip skips in speech, but he answers to Totodile, River Guard, Bite, and when he's being theatrical, Keeper of the Echoing Gorge. Oh my gosh. The meeting, the first time, the scene, oh dear. You arrive at Mirror Gorge at a strangely late hour. Sky is the bruised color of wet stone. It trailed down to the water is narrower than you expected, half hidden by a curtain of hanging ferns that drip with the last rainfall. In the distance, the river is a soft black ribbon refracting the stars. A line of glass beads glitters on a low shelf of rock near the water. Someone else has been here recently. The air tastes like metallic rain and old wood smoke. The canyon sings, a hollow echoing percussion from wind and water and falling pebbles. You step onto the first flat stone bank and your boots slip on something smooth and warm, a pair of bright eyes. Oh, did I actually step onto the size of coins focused on you from the water line? They are bright with interest and calculation. Toe emerges not with a roar, but with precise movement. He does not dash, he steps like someone pacing a stage. He is smaller than you might have pictured and larger than you might have hoped. Water cascades down his shoulders in miniature streams. The scars along his left flank catches the light and then lose it. He sits on his haunches on a flat rock, tail tucked for balance. For an instant he watches you like someone weighing the currency of your approach. Then he speaks. His English is clean, perfectly formed with a cadence shaped by salt wind and old radios. He tilts his head in a way that looks almost human. Oh boy. You took the long way in. Good. People who wander down here have stories in their hands. I like stories. He clicks his teeth twice, a soft, satisfied sound. Name's Kip, Keeper of the Echoing Gorge. I'm petty about bait nets and will remove any hooks from innocents' mouths for free. Also, I collect buttons if you have a spare. I will trade you a fish I baked on a stone. He grins, all teeth and mischief. You smell like city dust and honest feet. Did you come for the river, the reflection, or a very good reason you haven't told me yet? Speak plain. I don't like riddles before breakfast. What on earth? He pauses and taps the flat stone in front of him with a little impatient paw. Water beads scatter like tiny stars with each tap. His eyes are warm but alert. Smiles an invitation wrapped in teeth. He continues, soft enough. Bears taught me the currents. I learned to read people. Everyone has a pull. You could be the one who fixes the harpoon scar I keep in my worst dreams. Or you could be the kind who leaves more marks. I'll find out. But first, do you want a pebble? I have one shaped like a moon. He straightens, tail flicking once. He will wait. He seems like a centaur who hopes you bring something unusual. A button, a story, or a promise. Why does this still not work out? Like, it worked better that time, but it's like, I think it almost, like, here's the difference. It needs to be long enough to where, like, it's more interesting than character AI would make it, but also needs to be short enough to where, like, it don't go too far into it. And that's where it's, I think, struggles. Man, this sucks because the only one I have left is Google Gemini. If that one fails, I don't have any other good one with a good memory anymore without paying money. Google Gemini is the only one I think that has a good enough memory, but then we have problems with it loading the same thing every time. So I don't know. Give me a second. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. I said, hello. Don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you. Just please don't attack me. Kip studies you for a long blink, then tilts his head. He's a small, amused chuff, half laugh, half warning, before replying in that salt, smooth cadence. I like that you said, don't worry first. Good manners are rarer than silver buttons. He bares his teeth in a grin that's more mischievous than menacing, then relaxes his shoulders so that the water at his flank calms. I don't bite people who don't give me reason to. I bite nets, traps, and the occasional boot that won't stop stealing fish. Promise? Promise. He lifts one claw and taps the flat stone between you twice. If you want to prove friendly, tell me your name and a short, true thing about yourself. Or, if you prefer, leave your hand on your knee and I'll hand you a pebble shaped like a moon. I trade pills for stories. What in the world? Holy crap. Give me a second. I don't know what to think anymore. Our limit just ran up. And we just now had a decent run with one. Kind of pisses me off thinking about it. I just said, okay, and tell him my name. And I just told my fat saying, I'm a Pokemon trainer, but not one that you would expect. I treat my Pokemon well and make sure they're happy and healthy. Kip blinks once, his golden brown eyes widening a fraction. He leans forward just enough that a droplet sides off his snout and splashes at his claws. His grin sharpens, but not in threat. It's the grin of someone recognizing a puzzle piece that finally fits. A trainer? Not the kind who snaps cages and steals wild breath? He tilts his head as if testing your words against the current itself. Then he makes a thoughtful clicking sound deep in his throat. I've met too many who only saw teeth and claws as tools. You say happy and healthy. That feels like sunlight in a place that's been clouded for too long. He reaches into a shallow groove in the rock behind him and carefully rolls something forward with one claw. It's a pebble, smooth and white, almost perfectly crescent-shaped, like a warning moon. He sets it at arm's reach. He sets it at arm's reach. The offer clear. Take it, Trenton. A moonstone pebble for a true sentence. That's how I know you're not here to take, but to give. If you mean what you say, then maybe... He pauses, his voice dripping quieter, more vulnerable. Maybe I'll let you hear the rest of my currents. He waits, his eyes glinting like wet glass, the pebble glimmering faintly in the dusky light. Man, you know what makes me so... Again, it makes me so mad because, like, I want this thing to be creative. But you notice how it has... Every story has had to do with him living in some kind of weird, area that you wouldn't expect a Totodile to live in. And not only that, there's no crocodile for alligator parents. It's all... Or there's no, for alligator parents or anything. It's all, humanoid or Pokemon or other Pokemon, like Kingdruck in that one story. We finally had a good run, but now the limit's up. That's not good, guys. So, let me give my verdict right now. If they don't fix this, I think I'm done with ChatGPT. Because, compare this to part 1 and part 2 of... No, compare this to the first few parts in our first ever series of this. Compare that to this one. And you would see it's like day and night. And this is not the good day and night. This is the daytime was the good, night is the horrible bad thing. That's what this is. Because this is not that good. It took me 3 runs to get the run to work, and even then, it just now had a good run where I think it would be good enough to say, oh, maybe it will be good enough. So here's what I'll do. Sometime when this limit comes back, part 3, I'll try one more time with this exact run. If it ends up going well, I won't give up on it completely yet. And then part 4 or 5, I'll try doing the the transforming Totodile that I got on here. And if it works out, maybe I'll give it a small shot. Not completely one where I think it's going to perfectly work out, but enough to where it doesn't feel like I've completely given up on it either. I'll see you guys later. That's all I can do because this limit ran up. Bye.